Well, hi there, everybody. You're traveling with Jack and my heavenly wife, Pam. Today, we're not traveling, not doing a grief journey video, but we're back in the kitchen doing some cooking. I waited to just whip up a really nice, healthy dinner tonight. I'm on my dinner break. I have about an hour and a half break, and believe it or not, this meal could be put together in a matter of minutes. We're going to be featuring tonight a couple of things I think you'd really enjoy. This is brocollini. Yeah, it's kind of the little stepsister to the big broccoli, only this is the little stuff. And it's really good, it's very nutritious, and it's healthy. We're also going to have, cooking with it, some nice mushrooms. These are some organic cremini mushrooms. And then our main dish with this is going to be some beautiful wild sockeye salmon. It's extra rich and tasty, and again, it's wild sockeye salmon. We started off, I've got my black skillet here. You don't necessarily have to use a cast iron skillet. I kind of like it. I've coated the bottom with some olive oil. Okay, good quality olive oil. First thing we're going to do, and this is for our broccolini and mushrooms, is we're going to put some minced garlic in there. A pretty healthy amount, as you can see there. There's our garlic. We're going to put that in and get that going nicely on the heat. Meantime, while we're waiting for that, we're going to go over here and we're going to start to get our salmon ready to cook it. And this is really, really simple. I've just got a dish here that I've lined with some aluminum foil. And so the fish doesn't stick, I put just a little bit of olive oil. Right like that, okay? Now we've got our nice piece of fish here. It looks like it's really a huge piece, but it's actually a pretty thin cut. And just kind of move it around there. What do I do with my towel? Let me see. I'm gonna have to get a paper towel, guys. Okay, so how are we gonna season and cook our salmon? It's very easy. I've got the oven on high broil. We're gonna broil our salmon, maybe take with a thin piece like that about 6, 7, 8 minutes tops. So, very easy. We're just gonna take a little bit of salt. And this is kind of a cool salt I bought. This is called Beautiful Briny Sea Salt. You may have seen me use this before. You can buy it online, or I bought it in a specialty food store in the Los Angeles area. So I'm adding some of that. Just spray it. Be pretty generous with the salt. Okay? In the meantime, our garlic is starting to get hot over here. So we're going to multitask. We're going to put our mushrooms in first. Put those in our skillet. There we go. Give those a little stir, get them nice and oily. Again, we're using olive oil. You could use butter, but I prefer to use olive oil. Now, while that's starting to cook, I need to get one other item that I forgot. And you know what that is? It's butter. We've got to have a little bit of butter for our salmon. And I'll show you how we're going to do that in just a few minutes. So, there we go. We've got our mushrooms are cooking nicely now. Back to our salmon. We did the salt. Remember, we did a little bit of salt on it. Now we're just going to put some pepper. This is really super, super easy, gang. Okay? So there's our salmon. We've got our salt and pepper on it. Now we're going to put some real thin slices of butter on this. We're going to put it on top of the salmon that we're going to be putting in the oven here in just a few minutes. Okay. Probably for cooking demonstration, I should have had this all sliced up ahead of time, but I didn't. So, there's our butter. Now, I've also got some organic lemon juice. You could use fresh squeeze. To me, there's no big difference, and here we are. And what I do is I put just a little bit of the lemon juice on the little pallets of butter. So we're kind of creating our own little lemon butter, if you will. Okay? So, it's all ready. We're going to pop that in the oven now. How easy is that? We're going to set the timer. I'm going to go with about 9 minutes. And that's going to be more than enough time. Meantime, our mushrooms are cooking up really beautifully here. This is such a quick and easy dinner. So our mushrooms are starting to get kind of soft, looking really nice. And we're done with our garlic, so let's put the lid on that. In case you're wondering what type of garlic, it's just a Trader Joe's minced garlic that I get. Quick, easy to use. So, now that those are doing pretty good, I've got my handful of brocollini. I'm putting that in. Oh, I'll drop something on the floor. And for this, I've just got some good old-fashioned sea salt. So I'm pretty generous with that. Now, if you're on a low-salt diet, you're going to want to back off of that. Thank goodness I've never had any big issues there. And then I'm going to pepper it. Okay. And a little lemon juice as well on the broccoli. This is so quick and easy. And this is going to cook, I mean, maybe 5 minutes tops. And again, it's going to be delicious for you. There's all kinds of antioxidants, all kinds of great vitamins that are in broccoli. And I just think it's got a little bit more of a sweeter taste than just traditional broccoli. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I don't like broccoli. And I'll be honest, I was one of those people. I never cared for it that much. In fact, I think wasn't one of our former presidents, President Bush, George W., I think, had a big controversy one time when he said he didn't really like broccoli. Well, big deal. Okay. Now, this appears to have soaked up a good bit of our oil. So I'm probably going to have to add just a little bit more olive oil and keep that handy. There we go. Again, I know you guys, lots of times I've gotten messages from you, do you measure anything, you ask? And I go, no, not really. Now look at that. This is already, believe it or not, almost done. I might mention too, there's another way you could do your broccoli that some people do, is they'll get some cold water with ice and they will have this cook a little bit, then throw it in that, shock it, and then put it back and cook it a little more. It gives it a little bit more of an al dente. Personally, I'm not a big fan of al dente broccoli, but some people are, so that's just an idea that you might have. So there you have it. This is basically done. I mean, garlic, salt, and pepper, a little oil, mushrooms, and then we've got our broccoli in there, and it is so, so delicious. Let me go get one other thing here. I know, I walk around a lot. I should have multiple camera operators. I think we've had this discussion before. Anyway, I want to hold this up just so you can see it a little better. There you go. Huh? Looks good, doesn't it? And it does. It tastes absolutely delicious. Meantime, our salmon still cooking. I'm going to turn on the oven light. Oh, it looks beautiful. It's browning up just like you want it to. So this dinner is almost done. Now, back on the salmon, don't be afraid for it to get maybe a little char on top, depending on how you like it. But as I mentioned, a thin slice like I had, it was about maybe that thick. I mean, it wasn't very thick at all. 7-8 minutes, it's done. It's not an issue. Like, let me take. Yeah, the butter's all melty on it now, and it's getting ready to char up a little bit, and then we're going to be ready to eat. So that's basically it. I'd love to show you the salmon when it's done, but we just sit here and just stare at me for about another 4 minutes, and I know you don't want to do that. This is a simple meal. Oh, we could talk about the wine accompaniment. You may have noticed I broke all the rules. With fish, you're supposed to have white wine. I gotta tell you, I like red wine. I do drink white wine too, but I tell you what, a good little light red wine, a Pinot Noir, something like that, goes just fine with fish. And this is some cheap $5 wine that I bought called Quail Creek. It's actually pretty darn good. So there we go. This is done. I'm going to turn it down on low now. Maybe I will give you a look at the fish just so you can have a quick glimpse of what it was looking like. There we go. Okay. See the fish? 2 or 3 minutes from now, it's going to be golden brown and done. So that's it, guys. Quick and easy. We did broccoli with mushrooms and broiled wild sockeye salmon. Healthy eating, tastes good, feels good after you eat it. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. That's Traveling with Jack and Pam. Hope you enjoyed this, okay? Bye now.